Well, let's speak now to Renad Mansour, a fellow at the Carnegie Middle East Center in Beirut, to discuss the latest developments in Syria. Thank you very much for your time. Good to see you there. So this ceasefire then is set to start later this week. All things considered, do you think it's likely to start, let alone even hold if it does?
Well, I think there's a lot of room for pessimism with the ceasefire. It's just on the conditions on the ground just aren't ripe for any sort of meaningful negotiation or ceasefire. First of all, there are some groups that won't even be part of this ceasefire. I'm talking about the more extreme groups, you know, ISIL, Jabhat al-Nusra and others, so that's part of it. And also, it just seems like things are escalating at the moment in Syria. You have the talk of Saudi troops entering, you have Russian airstrikes escalating, and you have many of the different proxies who are continuing to fight. So I think the general idea right now from what we're hearing on the ground is the conditions just aren't ripe yet for the actors to come together and feel like a ceasefire in light of potential negotiations is possible at the moment.
You mentioned there the fact that it's escalating and the talk of troops. Turkey saying that troops will only go in as part of a joint operation with the broader coalition. Is there much unity amongst that coalition right now?
Well, it's hard to see any sort of unity, and I think this has been one of the biggest problems of the Syrian conflict to date. The fact that these alliances and coalitions are so unstable and go back and forth. I mean, it's just trying to understand the complex scenario of who is with who and who is not against who at the moment is a mind-boggling task. So the idea that Turkey is trying to bring, let's say, Saudi Arabia or other Arab Gulf groups into the mix, it's hard to see that alliance. And also this talk of an alliance, you know, Russia bombing in support of, let's say, YPG or Kurdish groups, again, that alliance is also a bit questionable. So the point being, we're seeing alliances and we're seeing talk of alliances between different groups, but it's so complicated and so unstable that it's hard to see any real bonds forming.
Do you think this disunity that we are seeing amongst the coalition is playing very much into the Assad regime's hands here? Do you think they sense a strong military victory right now?
Oh, definitely. I think the Assad regime has in the last few months, definitely gained some confidence. And this, again, extends to the point that I made initially, which is the conditions aren't ripe for negotiations. According to the Assad regime, they're doing well now with support from Russia and other of its external allies. And when they view the opposition, they see the opposition as fighting amongst each other and unable to unite. And as long as that is the case, the Assad regime will remain confident and unwilling to meaningfully negotiate for any sort of transition.
Okay, Renad Mansour, thank you very much for your time.